Good morning. I'm Kimberley Buckler. I'm with Spirit and Soul Healing Clinic here in Cochrane, Alberta. I've been in this field, in the healing energy work and healing field for over 20 years now. Um, I'm here today to share a little bit about the tarot deck that I've created. This tarot deck holds a lot of information and things I've learned over the last 20 plus years going into this field, the tools I've learned as I went along, the things that can work without having to use medications and other things to mask things, how we can get back to using the herbs, our crystals, and the earth medicines, also being connected to spirit in our teams and our spirit teams, and how we can learn to really listen to our body so that we can heal our body physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. So 3 years ago, about this time, I had moved into a new place, and a friend, Reiki Master, had recommended to me to use my artwork into a message deck. Kimmy, being Kimmy, went and took on the tarot deck, but it was the biggest lesson that I ever had, and it was interesting. I've used the tarot deck for readings for several years, and I've never looked at the deck in this way. I continue doing the readings the way I always have been done, but this is a powerful deck when you take a look at it. With a tarot deck, you have lessons. You have lessons in the major arcana, and you have the lessons in the minor arcana, which is the cups, the pentacles, the wands, and there's another one in there, the swords. Okay, sorry about that. So for me, I took a different perspective on it. Instead of having the cups and the wands and that, I have the bear, and the bear is in the north representing our home. And our home, our hearts, and our businesses, and the whale, that's sweethearts in the west, representing um, the knowledge, our emotions, and how we look after ourselves. The wolf is in the south. He's one of my totem animals. He's about the passion we hold in our lives, and how we approach things on a daily basis. And then we have the owl in the east, and the owl brings the truth, it brings honesty, sharing how that we can ourselves need to look at the truth and be honest. So today we're covering the high priestess, and so the fairy, which becomes the high priestess. So that's original batik for it, and here's the card. Now, with the high priestess and the fairy, um, it's interesting when you go through your life and you start to recognize the things that are going on, and you find the tools that you work with, and you find the answers, and you find healthier solutions. You're connected to your gut instinct and your insights, and you listen to the red flags. You know when something's wrong, and you can feel into the energies. And this high priestess is a pretty amazing person. Could be a male, a female. um, I'm not too sure what term you would use for a male other than a magical medicine person. So it goes for both males and females, that we can open up and relearn how to connect with ourselves. So the fairy is the number two in the major arcana. Two is about balance. The high priestess has gone through extensive training and has found that her gut instincts and intuition are accurate. She sees how the community is working together, and yet at the same time, she can feel unsettling ripples. When we are in Mercury retrograde, things appear not to seem right or work properly. This energy can cause ripples and can affect us in so many ways. The high priestess will take the time to retreat and reevaluate. Do you see red flags blowing in the wind? Do you see the red flags in another person or a situation? Is someone wearing a mask to hide their own dishonoring intentions? Is your gut instinct saying that changes need to be made? For the first, take the time to feel the energies around you. Know that you're like the high priestess who connects her to her intuition. Are you unsure of something you can when you are unsure of something, you can retreat and connect with the high priestess energy. This retreat will show the truth so that the changes can be made to bring the balance back into your home and your life again. Tools for support. When I'm unsure, I can use tools such as selenite and tourmaline to clear the energy. Getting grounded again with hematite helps me to recenter and become connected to the high priestess. Essential elements for living life in balance are found through work, play, rest, and sleep. Paying attention to what is not working and place it with what will work better. This can be done through communication and negotiations. If one is out of balance, it can affect our bodies physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. Affirmation. I am like the fairy that can help others see the light and use their intuition again. So that is true. When I do readings for clients, I will use the tarot deck and I pick up and hear and feel things as I'm doing the readings. And using my intuition and what I'm picking up on provides that support for the client to go forward and what tools that they can use to help them out until they find it, or maybe they may find a tool that works even better for them. So the idea is to be there to be that support. For ourselves, we need to really listen to our bodies. The high priestess has that intuition. She knows when something's going wrong. So back in December, this one shoulder started to hurt a lot, and that makes sense. Our logic is on the side in our left side of her brain, and it affects the right side of her body. So for me, when I see the truth in something and I see the answers and I see the knowing, it's sometimes hard for me to relay. And when I do, I find that try to find the most easiest way I can do it without causing ripples. Well, in December, I shared some information and it caused a lot of ripples. It caused a lot of chaos because a person receiving the information was not ready to accept it and was very mad and angry at me. And so what started to happen is my one shoulder started to get really sore, and I realized, well, this situation is no longer for me and I need to get away from it. This morning I woke up, my knees out a little bit on my right side. Again, on the right side, the logic, overthinking, controlling. So it's a reminder for me, myself, just to ease off, to relax, stop worrying so much, and just to look after me. Don't worry about what that business is doing or that business is doing, who's in integrity, who's not in integrity. Just to be me, just to be myself, to chill, to enjoy, and to share the knowledge that I've gathered over the years. So, going back, the keeper of the Ancient Wisdom Tarot, there are a lot of magical decks out there. This one is phenomenal, and I will brag a little bit about it because my heart and soul really did go into this girl, and she's got a lot to share with you. Whether you use a deck for readings or you use those decks for messages, it is a pretty powerful one. I thank you very much for listening. I do work with clients in person and long distance over the phone. Please do like and share the video, and I hope you have a magical day. Enjoy being you and have fun learning to reconnect with all your senses. It's a pretty magical journey. Take care.